Hey, what's up guys? So let's talk about Matt Damon's new film, The Great Wall. The Great Wall stars Matt Damon, Tian, Jing, Pedro, Pascal, Willem, Dafoe, and it is directed by Zhang, Yimou, who also directed 2002's House of Flying Daggers, which was a film that I really found enjoyable. The story follows a couple mercenaries who are traveling the countryside. They're looking to trade for some black powder. When they get to the Great Wall, they discover a massive army, and soon they become embroiled in this war against hordes of these lizard-like dragons. Now, this was an interesting film that really drew a lot of criticism prior to its release. People saw Matt Damon fighting in ancient China with soldiers. The whitewashing talks of Hollywood kicked back up again, and I will admit I found it curious as well, but nothing in Hollywood really surprises me anymore, and after watching, it was clear that just a big name was needed to get the budget really required to pull off this overbloated CGI-filled story. And as for myself, I was a little apprehensive about this movie as well. When I first watched the trailer for the first time though, I found it very interesting. It really looked like it would build a stunning foundation for a good adventure, tons of visual appeal, but really in the end, once it started to show these dragons, I was kind of less intrigued and really worried about what the final result was going to be. And after walking out of this film, I found myself disappointed in it for a lot of those same reasons that had me worried going in, plus many more. I won't say this was a bad movie, but it wasn't a very good one from start to finish. The first 30 minutes were very entertaining though. Once the Great Wall is shown with this massive army defending it, I was highly compelled. I thought the visual quality of the film was excellent. It was delivering all I was hoping for from a Zhang Yimou film. The first battle was very immersive. It was absolutely adrenaline pumping, and I was really beginning to think that I was in for a story that was just going to provide a wild time period adventure. Then the story kicks in and the pace quickly slowed, the intrigue dropped for me. I will say the plot does set up, I guess, a serviceable reasoning behind why Damon and Pascal's characters are really in the story in the first place, but all of the rest of the characters as well as them were just simply there with just no development at all. It was really hard to connect with any of the characters at all because you just never got to know any of them. Also, while the plot does manage to create the why of Damon's character being into the story, that doesn't really mean he fit into it. He did feel out of place, and despite his best efforts, it was just not a very good performance that was just hindered by a bad accent and a bad man bun. I mean, he did have his moments, but he did just not fit into the script or the story, and with some less than stellar dialogue, he just really didn't have a chance. I didn't think the story was very well layered. I didn't think the dialogue was very well written. The story really just drags the pace down so much. It makes this movie feel like it's twice as long as it really was. There was just way too many repetitive scenes, the love story subplot, Willem Dafoe's entire role, and all of it just felt like a cluttered mess that didn't fit together very well. Now, I will say this was not Gods of Egypt bad at all, but despite the strong visual appeal, there were just some instances of not the best CG. These dragons were just not doing it for me. They looked overly cartoonish at times, and after a while, this film began to be so reliant on CG that it became almost completely animated at times. But there were some moments of just awesome special effects. The first sequence when the dragons attacked, it was just honestly amazing. It was perfectly shot and this displayed with excellent camera work that will have you just right up in the chaos of the battle, but still creating clever moments to really build some added intrigue. But as the story progresses, they try to outdo each action set piece that came before it. It really only pulled me out of the story. By the end of it, the entire thing felt like another version of the final sequence from World War Z. They were entertaining for what they were, but with a story that is just honestly this boring, all the visual flair you can imagine is not going to make this movie a very fun one to sit through, and it's really unfortunate. And in the end, I'll give The Great Wall a C-. This film could have been much better with a little less effort spent in creating special effects filled spectacle, and maybe a little bit more effort spent in building some characters and a story with more substance. And that's my review of The Great Wall, guys. Let me know if you're checking it out this weekend. What are you hoping to see out of it? Or if not, what else are you going to be watching? Drop this video a like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this review and you never want to miss a new one. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm Anthony. This is the Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you at the movies.